Hello everyone. On the last video I talked about wireframing, then I talked about an AI agent, but I didn't really get into it. So if this is your first time here, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm doing a series for my boy. He's technically, like I said, he's technically a software engineer who's doing auditing, and I'm making videos specifically for him that might help him in his line of work. Anyways, that being said and done, at the moment I'm supposed to create a whole workflow that technically deals with webinar, yeah, like webinar automation, where it reminds people there's a webinar coming, and also gets the people in the database and sends them emails to inform them about a webinar or a newsletter that's upcoming. But first, before we get there, I'd like us to talk about an AI agent, because this is like more of the begin on the automations. I'd like you to know specifically what this is all about. Yeah. So I will have an in-depth video about AI agents and AI automations, so that you guys, my boy, you can know the difference. But on this one, it'll be specifically because ideally, even if you're not a beginner, you're still a beginner in automation, right? So what's an agent? An agent is technically a tool that actually helps you complete a specific task without like in-depth monitoring, right? Like hutashinda umeiangalia angalia ndo complete a specific task. It'll just you'll just give it an input, then it'll make the decisions by itself. After it's completely made the decisions, then it's going to give you a specific output in matters regarding whatever automation that you have created or the agent that you have created. So the components of the agent: technically, for an agent to function, it has to have an input. It can be a trigger, it can be a text, it can be whatever, it can be an image, whatever. That input has to come to the agent. Once the input is there, it works hand in hand with the brain and the instructions given to give a specific output. But the brain technically is a large language model. It can be Mistral, it can be Google, it can be OpenAI, it can be Open Router. It doesn't matter. We have this thing called a system prompt. So what the hell is a system prompt? A system prompt specifically technically means you've given the agent a specific set of instructions where it should adhere to in order to complete a specific task. But the task, how is the task completed? It is completed using maybe one set of tools, one maybe a tool or a couple of set of tools. So it does not necessarily mean it needs to be one. They can be many as possible, interconnected with each other. Yeah. So yeah, this is technically what you can call an AI agent. It has a brain, that's the LLM. It works in hand with prompts, and those prompts and the brain helps through the utilization of tools to complete a specific task. Now, AI agent. Now that we have had this, maybe let me say, nah, I'll just leave it like that. Now that we've known what an agent is, let's go build a very basic agent. Yeah. I actually already built one, but it was lightly. Yeah, it was lightly, but yeah, let's go share this tab instead. So this is the AI agent that we're technically going to build, right? It's going to be sending emails or whatever. You can decide, yeah. But I don't think I'll get into like in depth on sending emails. we can technically say I might decide not to put in the tool, but at the moment, that's the basic idea. Now, we're going to start from scratch. Yeah. So I'll come here. I will add a trigger, but for me, I'll just use AI agent, this one. So when you select this one, automatically it creates this. Yeah. So after it's created this, you have a chart. You can press this one to open the chart or this one to open the chart. Now, most of the time when you are starting out N8N and all that, this is where you'll technically land. If your N8N is fresh, bro, then you won't be having workflows as much as I have over here. So you'll technically create a new workflow. Then you can go click that trigger that I clicked, search the AI agent. Then it will pop up. This is what will pop up, the AI agent, right? So after the agent has popped up, you can technically say, hey, it'll process, but nothing is going to happen. Yeah, there has been an error. So why is this? Because it's just a couple of nodes. There's no brain, there's no memory, there's no tools, there's nothing. Yeah. So we want this to work. Yeah. You'll need you'll need a specific chat model. For OpenAI, you need to have credits for you to work with. OpenRoute, actually you can use the free one to some extent. Yeah, you can use the free one to some extent, because at the end of the day you can't use these models unless you have the API key. You can get this key on if you have an account with Open Router. Yeah. Then ideally, now that we've added our brain, you just come and say, "Hey, how are you?" Now you expect the model to be triggered. Then, oopsies, request loan tokens. Okay, let me change the model. So technically, this is what I was talking about on the previous video. I was talking about swapping models. Now that my open router ain't working, I'm thinking about trying. Let me try Mistral. Yeah, you can be swapping the agents in and out. Technically, depending on how you decide or which model you decide to use. Yeah, you can see right now it's loading. Hey, how are you? I don't know why it's taking so long. It's usually not supposed to take this long. It's should have already responded. But anyways, I will swap in and add another and put another model over here. Might be because on the Maestro I don't have tokens. It's pretty crazy. Yeah. Yeah, it's taking too long. Let me just cancel. Okay, how are you doing? Okay, so it's technically, hi, how are you? Hey, that is my input. Yeah, technically I cancelled it. Let me just change the model. Let me just use OpenAI. I am certain it will work. Or is it my internet that's slow? Anyways, OpenAI 4.0. Hi, let's try that again, shall we? Hey, how are you? Triggered, loading, response comes back. I'm great. Thanks for asking. How about you? You can see. So now, if I do this, my name Jeff. If I do this, number one, I've told it my name. Now it's asking me because my name Jeff. How can I assist? What is my name? Now I've already told it my name, but I've asked it my name and it can't respond. Why? Because we have a brain that's processing things, but it's not retaining any information. Like hierarchy information, it is not putting in information, right? So this is where the memory comes in. Yeah, you can use simple memory, you can use Mongo, Redis, Postgre, it doesn't matter. You can choose as long as you technically have your keys and you know where you're storing your data. So let's redo my name Jeff, right? Now it knows my name is Jeff. Yeah, you can see the models. I hope you can see them. So on these models, you can see the model. It got the information. Hi Jeff, how can I assist you? Then it went to the memory it stored. So this memory, you can see it takes five five things that has been inputted. Now it has already retained the information that my name is Jeff in comparison to the initial one. So if I ask it, what is my name? I think I'll replace the API keys for the previous models that I tried and they failed. So your name is Jeff. How can I help you? Right? Now, I'd like to add here some edit. This is technically to just to show, yeah, just to show the output, yeah. Let me rename this output, right? So you can technically use it to you can ask it a lot of questions, anything that you desire. I'd like to know how many platforms I can host an 8N for free. Now, it technically gets the information that I have, then throws me an output, right? So you have this. Ideally, you just saw me click this and drag it. Yeah, the output technically is something that the agent over here, you can see from this agent, it technically outputs certain information, right? So this is the output that I dragged and drop here. I will get more use cases on this edit field, but at the moment, just bear. So yeah, this is the response that we got. We have very many different platforms where we can host and it end for free. Yeah, a few options. He talked about Docker, Heroku, the free tier with the limitation, Vercel, Netlify, which is similar to Vercel. Okay, it is a serverless, supports serverless. Fly.io provides free tier but can be used hosting AWS tier, Google Cloud, Azure free tier. Yeah. So technically, it gives you the information, and you can say that it has been stored. Yeah. Where has it been stored? It's, for lack of a better word, it's stored on this memory here, right? This memory, so it holds a context of like 5. Yeah, so now we would like to add a gmail gmail tool, right? So I want to send myself emails. Okay, now because of the way it is, I'd like to, you can technically press, you can manually put in the email here, or you can give AI the ability to do that, right? It will choose the model, whatnot, all that information the AI will choose. Yeah. Okay. Now you can tell it, send an email to Sage. I think let me just check the email just a moment. I want to check my other email. I will add a picture in the, what's this called? I think maybe there's a community or something. So there will be that community and a photo of the email if it will have come. Sage B mode. Sage B mode at gmail.com. Tell the manager I'll not be able to come in for work. Right? Now it's supposed to use the information because it knows I'm Jeff, and it's telling Sage Mode that I'll not be available to come for work. Now, unable to attend work, subject, it sent the email. Now, from my end, I am waiting to receive that email. I believe it's already arrived. Uh-huh. Dear manager, I wanted to inform you that I won't be able to come to work. I apologize for inconvenience this may cause. Thank you for your understanding. Best regards, Jeff. You can see it's so it tells me the email has been sent to your manager. If there's anything else you need, feel free to let me know. Now, this is the output that I'm getting. This is the output, this one. Okay, sorry, back. The email has been sent. This is the tool that sends the email. So, yeah, this is where it actually gives me the email that has been sent. Right? Yeah, I think it came, but I think it entered the spam folder. I'm seeing that I have 29. Okay, it's not that email. I've been looking at a different email. I will share the image of the email with you guys. Yeah, it came at 3:49, and it was telling the manager that I will not be able to attend and whatnot. So one thing that I forgot, there's this thing called append init and attribution. Yeah, if you don't want people to know this was sent through init and automatically, you can do this. Put that append, then remove that append. Yeah, when it appends, it means it adds on to the email. Yeah. So that is how you. I believe this is like your first automation. And if you got to this point, I believe that you got to learn something and you got to enjoy. So make sure you leave a like, subscribe. Yeah, I see you guys in the next one.